Another busy day today. And today, the White House finally pulling the plug on Russian oil imports after being bashed over the head by a baseball bat made out of common sense. Of course, we shouldn't be sending Vladimir Putin money right now. Anybody could see that. For the last several weeks, it was a decision that could have been made 2 weeks ago. An onslaught of pointed questions from the White House press corps did not force this decision. At the end of the day, you might not be surprised to hear that it was polling that forced Biden and company to cut the Russians off from our supply of cash as they do horrible things. From Quinnipiac yesterday, 7 out of 10 Americans support a ban on Russian oil, even if it meant higher gas prices here in the United States. What's sad is that it will mean even higher gas prices, even though it doesn't have to. It's an arbitrary expense being extorted from the American people by climate manic liberals and utter incompetence, not by Vladimir Putin. More on that with Trump's energy point man Rick Perry here in just a couple of minutes. But the message is clear. Americans are done with foreign energy. And so, after finally seeing some polling, the White House was able to do the thing they always seem to do wrong: make a decision.
We made this decision in close consultation with our allies and our partners around the world, particularly in Europe. We're moving forward with this ban, understanding that many of our European allies and partners may not be in a position to join us.
May not be. It has been astounding watching this White House show absolutely no leadership in this huge moment. America has been following the EU and NATO, looking for cues on how to act, and on something so simple like not funding Putin's horrific invasion and slaughter of innocent people, the White House waited for Quinnipiac to ask 1,000 people before making the simplest decision of this entire conflict. Imagine what this is going to look like when there's actually a tough choice to be made. But back to this decision, as Biden said, it's a journey that our friends in Europe may not be able to follow us on. Of course it is, because at the end of the day, our NATO allies are painfully self-serving. They don't deserve NATO. They're comfortable with America making all the sacrifices while they seem to always want to take the easy way out. Former President Trump responding, as usual, the U.S. will be left out there alone, being taken advantage of by Europe as we defend them while we read in the fake news how everyone has come together under Biden to fight Russia. Our most important European ally, Germany, won't be joining us on this mission to starve Vladimir Putin out of power, and we certainly can't do this alone. The Germans are too busy shutting down power plants over there and getting ready for a green revolution that is still probably decades away. Germany will keep buying Russian oil and liquid natural gas because it's the only option that the radical environmentalists and green energy special interests that control that country will allow. It's as simple as that. Foreign oil doesn't do anything to the environment, apparently. Like we said, it's that magic energy from Russia that has no impact on the climate, that the green people can all cheer on. You just can't make it in your own country. Apparently, that's the rule. Biden says defending the freedom of the Ukrainians comes with a cost for us here at home. You should know by now that that is not a mandatory cost. A different administration would be able to marginalize the impact of this war domestically in a big way. Long before the invasion of Ukraine, the assault on oil and gas in this country had begun.
We need to phase out coal 5 times faster than we have been.
I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel.
A plan to secure carbon pollution-free electricity by 2035.
We've got to invest in the sources of energy that will get us off of these volatile fossil fuels.
Same people that spent the last 2 weeks promising they're doing everything they can to make gas cheaper for you. These people hate cheap gas. They have a Build Back Better plan they're trying to ram through. They need it to get through so bad so all their buddies can get rich. Expensive gas helps sell massive subsidies of green energy. They need gas so expensive that Americans are begging government for a stipend to buy an electric car. And that's when Biden and company and all the green energy lobbyists in Washington finally really win. Here you can see prices when Biden took office, right here, where they were when Putin invaded, over here as I Vanna White for you. And then all the way at the end you have today. So obviously it's gone up dramatically since Putin invaded. But all of this right in here, they were going up. It was moving in that direction anyway. This has exacerbated a problem we already had. So Biden now is going to the strategic reserves here in the United States, where we have, I think, hundreds of millions of barrels of oil. He's going to pull 30 million of them. Oil that's supposed to be saved for when this country can't pump its own oil will be wasted at a time when the White House simply doesn't want us pumping more oil. Biden went all the way to Texas today and forgot to do the one thing that could save Americans from the financial despair that he says is being caused by Vladimir Putin. Biden did not take an hour to meet with Big Oil and promised to remove all the shackles of his administration. Instead, he simply took a shot at oil companies, accusing them of price gouging. The same companies that were just applauded for taking a big hit to their bottom lines by pulling out of Russia well before this administration ever did. They stole a lot of Biden's thunder today because a lot of that had already been taken out. What Biden did today was just kind of the end result, and it was already in the process of happening. And as we deal with the Biden-manufactured consequences of this Russian invasion, J.P. Morgan predicting oil could hit $185 a barrel by the end of the year if the Russian oil supply isn't replaced. Well, you got to replace it somehow, either from another country or from our own. $185 a barrel. Right now it's what, $125, $130? We're going to see gas selling for $6, $7, $8 a gallon. Think about that. Think about spending a couple $100 to fill up your pickup truck. That is a fast track to a recession. But remember, not even the threat of economic meltdown is dire enough to force Democrats to incentivize big oil to produce more domestically. Or maybe it is. Just maybe. Because the senator from Connecticut, Chris Murphy, a Democrat, this week said this.
Let's just admit the insanity of a U.S. economy that continues to run on oil that is provided to us by dictators. The reality is, if we're not getting this oil from Russia, we're likely going to be importing more from another brutal dictator in Saudi Arabia, for instance, or we may have to go to Venezuela for oil.
How crazy is it to watch these guys, always a couple weeks, if not a few months behind, everything that common sense tells us? It's amazing to see. With COVID, with so many different issues, here they come weeks or months later saying exactly what we were saying 2 weeks ago, a month ago. Isn't that something else? Oh, it's ridiculous that we depend on foreign countries. Oh, really? Now that's ridiculous. You just realized that. Well, you want to get it elsewhere where you want to get it. Green energy clearly isn't ready, and we must be energy independent, according to Chris Murphy today, who just woke up from a 5-year coma. The insinuation is there. Although, don't expect the Democrat to actually say what this means, that we actually do need to be energy independent in this country, and we can't wait for wind and solar, because I don't think we have 30 years to wait for this. They're not going to say it. They're just going to allude to it the way he just did right there. In fact, I'm surprised Chris Murphy even said this much.